Oh boy, I love learning. I love the feeling of learning new things I didn't know before and refining everything I knew and getting my grades up so I can do well in my future. The feeling feels so great. Go, Cook! Go, 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 go! Oh, flag? Nikki, since 62, bring it back. Of course, holding. Treywitz! Treywitz, why are you so awful? Get off the... Psych! I don't do my homework. Hey guys, what's the Jdose back here with another Minnesota Vikings game preview. And this time we're home versus the Lions Sunday afternoon. So let's talk about it. And the most pressing issue is, of course, injuries. So let's get it out of the way. Sam Bradford hurt once again, which means, yes, Case Keenum back, his third week in a row starting. The God, the Savior. Do I even need to continue this review or this preview? Because you guys know. You guys already know we're going to dominate the Lions. We have our boy Case Keenum coming back here again. So now, but just for the sake of it, let's do like a full preview. You know, I can just do a review now. The Vikings won 45-7. The 7 points was the Zimmer just felt like not having the defense on the field for the last 2 minutes of the game, and we left, so the Lions got a quick touchdown. And there we have it. Case Keenum threw for 538 yards. But reverse that. And let's talk about the game. So let's talk about the full injury list for the Lions. Because there are some interesting names here. The rookie wide receiver Kenny Galladay has a hamstring injury. He had limited participation on Wednesday and no participation on Thursday. Dwayne Washington, one of their running backs, did not participate Wednesday or Thursday. And the guy that I had out in the simulation, Ezekiel Ansah, their stud defensive end, always seems to have big games against Vikings. No participation on Wednesday, but had little participation on Thursday, so I expect him to play Sunday, but maybe in a limited role. And kind of the same with another guy I had out in that game, TJ Lang. No participation on Wednesday, but full participation on Thursday, so I expect him to play once again in his right guard spot. So now the Lions have a very good setup on the right side of their offensive line. They're going to be very, very stout. So let's look at some of the... it's week, we're in week 4 now, so we have some team statistics we can look into. So look at offensively for the Lions. Their total thing is 7th ranked. They get 28.3 points a game, 316 yards on the pass, which is 17th, 316 total yards, 219 on the pass, which is 19th ranked, and 97 on the ground. They do not run well, and as you'll see in a bit, the Vikings have done a very good job stopping the run, so I think making the line one-dimensional is going to be a big key to this game. So defensively for the Lions, overall 14th ranked defense, 21 points a game, fairly average. 335 yards a game, 17th, 249 pass yards a game, and 86 rush yards a game. So they are a solid run-stopping team, but have been giving up some on the air. That could be due to the fact that this got done playing Matt Ryan, that lit him up a little bit. So I thought fairly good team overall. A little bit of an average defense and a top 10 offense, which fairly predictable. Now let's go over to Minnesota, which our numbers are kind of interesting. Overall, a 12th ranked offense, 24 points a game. 2nd ranked total yards, 400.3. 285.3 pass yards a game is 3rd, and 115 yards rush yards a game is 11th. If you guys would see these numbers in the offseason, you guys would have been ecstatic. Our offense was so awful last year. So the fact that it jumped leaps and bounds is absolutely phenomenal, and lots of things to look into. But now let's look at the defensive side, which is slipping just a little bit. I think some of the numbers are skewed due to some garbage time yards we've given up. We've given up 21.7 points a game, which is 13th. 343 total yards, which is 20th. That really doesn't look very good. 277.7 pass yards a game, which is 27th. But only 62.7 rush yards a game, which is 3rd. So I put some numbers together, and I just added up these basic rankings and just show where each team is to make it a full body picture. So I pretty much added up all the rankings. So for the Vikings, defensively 13th, 20th, 27th, 3rd, and their offensive ones in there too. And then I did the same thing for Detroit, and overall the Lions had a 125 rank and the Vikings at 91. So team-wise, we have a really good edge there, and also that's the fact that we're at home. Also, players to look at for the Lions, and I think they have some decent matchups against us. Of course, Matt Stafford was kind of my MVP candidate at the end of the year last year, and has really kept it going. He's sitting at a 64.5 completion percentage, getting 219 yards a game. His 45 is long. He already has 7 touchdowns, only 1 interception. They look really good this year, but their running game has really let them down thus far. Amir Abdullah has 46 attempts for 163 yards. It's only a 3.5 average. That's really not very good. And then pretty much nothing after that. Receiving, the number one receiver is Golden Tate, of course, but he only has 21 receptions on 27 targets, which is a good completion rating. But for only 190 yards, that's a 9 average. Not very good, especially when you look at the Vikings and you look at both Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen being much better than that. Kenny Galladay, the guy that lit the Vikings up in my Madden simulation, has 7 receptions on 15 targets for 102 yards. And he's a big 6'4" frame, could be troublesome. And then you look down the list, Jdose, a guy that hasn't done a whole lot, and the Vikings fans would know this guy. He lit him up last year there in their first meeting, but hasn't done a whole lot through his whole NFL career thus far. Eric Ebron, and he's kind of a stigma out there. You don't know how good he's going to be. He has all the tools in the world, but he hasn't really shown it. Defensively, some studs I have here: Whitehead, their stud linebacker, leading the team in tackles. Glover Quinn, a very good safety, and Miles Killebrew, kind of a guy I wanted the Vikings to pick up, not only because his last name is Killebrew, and I think that would look great in a Minnesota-style jersey, but he's a good tackling downhill safety. Would have been a good compliment with Harrison Smith, but now he's with the Lions, and he's playing very good. He's third on the team with tackles. Jared Davis, another good linebacker. And then probably the best player they have defensively, Darius Slay, as they say in Detroit, big play Slay, and he is very, very good. Quite possibly a top 10 cornerback in the game, maybe even better than that. I think it's going to be a very good test for Diggs. I'm not sure how they really use Slay, if they kept keeping him on one side of the field or if they're moving him inside. He's a 6 foot, 190 pound frame. He's very good at making big plays late. That's why he keeps his name Big Play Slay. So it'll be a good matchup all day, him on Diggs, or even if they move him down Thielen, they might just have him cover for whoever's catching the balls and making big plays. They also have some good depth at corner, where Quandre Diggs, which would be a fun matchup for on Stephon Diggs, has played very good and was Pro Football Focus's #1 corner. I'm not sure if still is, but he was at least last week. So he's played very good as well, and so they have some very good depth, and it'd be a good matchup for Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs to prove that there aren't just one-trick ponies that have good games every now and again and can continue to put up big numbers even against top-tier defenses like the Lions. You know, if you're a Vikings fan, you know the biggest threat for the Vikings is defensive linemen, and how we're going to slow up Ziggy Ansah paired up against former Lion Riley Reef. The matchup of the century that we've all been looking for, the Riley Reef revenge show against the young defensive end with a ton of talent, Ziggy Ansah. It'll be a fun matchup. We'll see how good Riley Reef is, if he has a little chip on his shoulder, if he feels like the Lions treated him with his time in Detroit. And also an ex-Viking, the Vikings' old punter, the #1 player on the Vikings, not really, Jeff Locke, is on the Lions, and he's been doing okay over there. And I think I might have brought Locke back. But yeah, there we have it. It's be a fun little revenge game. They have one old Viking, we have one old Lion, and it'll be a fun game all around. These division games always come close to the wire. The Vikings are at home, so you have to give them more of an edge there. Obviously, overall team game, our ranking is a good amount higher. I think we have more talent offensively. If you take Golden Tate out of the game, the Lions don't really have a whole lot, but Matt Stafford is a great quarterback. I think you could slide in the top 10 fairly easily now. Their running game is non-existent. If we make sure they're one-dimensional, we can make Stafford do these long dropbacks. Xavier Rhodes, I don't know how well he would match up on Golden Tate, or if he'll just, what we'll do with Rhodes, because we'll probably use Tate more in the slot. So it's going to be a big showing from Mackenzie Alexander, and maybe some more Tremaine Brock, but I think we can take them out fairly easily. Golden Tate did torch us a few times last year. Mike Zimmer is not going to let that happen again. So score predictions time. Here is my crystal globe. What do I think the Vikings are going to do? Well, my predictions are 0 for 3. So let's keep the over going, and I'm going to say the Vikings will lose this game by 10 points, 35-25. There we have it. Guaranteed. Let's keep this 0 for 3 going. So we'll see you guys in the next Jdose Vikings video. See ya.